Alright guys, here to talk about the Twilight Zone Season 5, Episode 10. So, this episode had a lot of potential.
Cowboys and Indians, dude.
Well, yes. Yes. So, it starts off, and you see like your scouts die, and then like it quick turns, and I'm like, a tank? What?
That was like that moment, when I talk about getting the tingles, like that was that moment that was amazing, and then it was literally downhill from there for me. Okay,
no,
I was gonna say.
Agreed.
I'm not on the same page.
It didn't ride that same level of enthusiasm, but it hit me for a moment where I was like, wait a minute, what the hell am I even looking at?
Exactly.
Tanks? What year is this? Wait a minute, there are no tanks? And like, you start to realize the twist is unfolding.
I expected something else to happen, and then like people in like spacesuits going, "What was that?" Or something like that. to keep going or something. I don't know what it would have been.
There was a story about like a regiment in the military somehow like getting transported back in time and now being against the Roman legions.
Yeah.
And like that was a really cool popular Reddit thing that I think got bought to make into a movie but never came out, or maybe it will still. Regardless, but I was like, oh, is there gonna be a cool thing here? Like, are they gonna somehow win the war? Are we gonna beat? Like, will Custer not die? Like, how's that gonna go?
Yes.
And I don't know. Like, I think mainly the problem with this is like, they didn't have the budget to use the tank enough or something, because this is a tank crew. Why are they not in the tank all the time?
Or like Indians enough? Or like
they had no Indians.
I know, and like we were spared, and I'm calling them Indians because it was that time and they did.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, we got spared like random Italian people wearing feathers all the time. So like that part's great, I guess. But really, it was really awkward the whole time, being like,
if they would have explained something about the Indians like jumping back and forth through the time or something, it would have been cool. Because there's one part where the scout gets shot in the back with an arrow, and you're like, who shot him? Did they not finish the job? Was there just one guy and he only had one arrow? Like what? Like
who shot him? And then said that guy's probably good. Just let him walk away.
It just very awkward. And like
it was just for that moment of like something's happening back here. Oh, and all that stuff.
But if their plan is to enter the war, which they do, they go up against the 2,000 Native Americans when there's 3 of them. And granted, they had better weapons and they could have done a lot. But a stray arrow kills you just the same as anything else. They don't have this crazy edge, but they do have a tank.
No.
They could have won so easily.
No. They didn't bring the tank back in time. The guy says, if only they could have brought the tank, maybe it would have been okay.
But the guy who says that is a guy who knows nothing about the story.
Yes.
Our actual tank people, like the general or whatever.
I don't know how time travel works.
I don't either, but they never even tried.
Right.
Every effort they had, they're like, oh, I think there's Indians around. Let's go on foot.
Go on foot
like,
and not bring the tank.
Everything they did. One of them didn't even bring his primary weapon. Like at the last confrontation, he has a pistol.
Like, let's go. Yeah, I don't know if he had another weapon at that moment, but yes.
Well, he had one back at the tank,
I thought of that too, and I was like, okay, these are just maneuvers. Sarge.
Or like gunshots. I don't think there's supposed to be gunshots here. This is a test. Let's go on foot.
Let's investigate on our own.
It's just a lot of that stuff. I was like, come on.
No. Like, so my biggest problem, which I'll get out of the way now, is how like everyone that this happened to happen to were like experts in like the war and history. Yeah. Oh, the 7th Regiment went east and this and all that stuff. Oh my God, guys, it's so bad. This is so horrible. Because it isn't even just one of them. Like the kid's like, ain't you ever heard of Custer's Last Stand? And like the other guy like knows even more than him, and he's filling all these details. I'm just
but the other guy doesn't care at all.
No, he's like, what are you all crazy? Because it's crazy. And yes, the answer is yes.
I also love when he's like, oh no, an Indian village. Let me whistle really loud multiple times.
Yeah, right in front of this village.
You're potentially afraid of being attacked by like time-traveling engines, and you're like, let me just whistle as loud as possible when I could just walk back the 17 feet that I walked away from these people to begin with. A lot of fun little issues in this that has a potential to be a good episode, but I think it falls short. It drops a lot of the concept by just not having the money or the time to delve into this.
Yeah, there's no, because like, okay, so like, I didn't like a lot of the oorah, like, come on boys, let's do it, and with the stupid, I'm like, this is a touchy subject to begin with, like, what are we doing here? This is what are they going to let's slaughter all these Indians so justice can be served,
well, that's
this
another
time.
thing, is that it's
like I'm quantum leaping
80 years into the future, and you should have realized that we stole their land, we did all these bad things to them. Like, what would have been a cool twist, which would be like the Jordan Peele twist, is they would have attacked Custard.
Yeah, like the woke version of it actually would have worked here. Right? It would have been like interesting or something. No, I don't know, and like that's not the reason. I'm just dealing from the bottom of the deck here, giving you some things.
Yeah.
There's any number of reasons to hate this, because like the real mind f at the end is like their names are engraved on the thing. Yeah. And for a second I'm like, what? And then I'm like, okay, it's probably like
they have dog tags.
It's like written on their thing, I guess, but like
I don't know what year dog tags even started getting used.
Yeah.
Would they even be like, this must be their names?
It's made out of some metal we've never seen. Like I don't know how they would have reacted to these like spacemen with these crazy guns or something.
Yeah.
I should have altered history forever. I don't care though. That wasn't the point of this. But like there was no like point to me. Unless you're like, yeah, boys, get them or something.
I think this would have been better if but it would be less famous to do this against like the British or something.
Yeah.
Because you would have been like, okay, this is the time when like a machine gun probably could have taken out a line of British Minutemen. Like that makes sense. You could have had a fun thing here.
Yeah, or like there was that other episode where like the South avoids making a pact with the devil or something.
Yeah.
So like whatever happens turns out to have caused the history, right?
Yeah.
Now it's just 3 more people died at this famous battle you've probably heard of, Timmy, in the 60s, watching this at home. It's like,
it didn't have that same, like, it wasn't like, oh.
No, and like you're not.
It got the mind going, though.
But
like, it had some elements that I like in a Twilight Zone, but yes, it fell
but you
short.
don't have that walking around thing like, what if I had that power? Like, what could I do, right? So it like fails on so many levels. I liked Sarge or whoever, the guy back at the camp. I
liked him. I hated him.
I didn't write down some of the quotes, but he was saying some stuff to like shit on like their points. I forget what. Oh no, he was like, when you find them, apologize to them and shoot them in the leg or something like that. I was like, okay, like just his like attitude towards this stupid thing. Like in a lot of these things, someone's like, we have to go find the fairies down by the river, and then there's like a character who has to be like, there's no such thing or something like that. But he was like, the hell are you guys doing? We're trying to wrap this up. Like, why are you messing with with my day or whatever?
Like 2 things. Like one, I was like, how do war games even work?
No,
that they're just like sent off in nowhere. And I wanted there to be a thing where like the fact that they were back in time changed the amount of time they were away for. So if the Sarge could have dropped something like, you've been gone for 7 hours.
I wanted that too.
Like something like that.
I thought they were hinting at that at one point, but then it seemed like no.
Because based on everything I picked up on, at least, it was like, oh, they want us to do this, that, and the other thing. And then in the next scene when they were doing it, it's like the guy's like literally like, I want to go here. They're like, but that's where the Indians are. And then they went there, and then he's like, where the hell are you guys? Where you told us to go? What do you mean?
Right. That guy's whole point is that you're inadvertently causing us to retrace Custer's steps, and that somehow, because of the Twilight Zone, is really sending us back there in these little pockets or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to do it. That's insubordination. Like, there's this whole like angle, but it didn't.
Yeah, but then doing it also was insubordination somehow.
He got very angry. Bring back my tank and all that stuff. But then at the end, he flips around, like as if something had been earned. Whereas, like, I guess he had a point all along. Like, what, the crazy guy who's MIA now? That you're like, oh, his name is written on here. I'm sure the most logical explanation is time traveling.
That flip of immediately believing in time travel and what happened. If only they could have brought the tank. Like, shut up.
The most skeptical guy, the guy who was shitting all over them. The other people were like, this seems strange. And he's like, no, it makes perfect sense. Custer needed a few extra like, what are you talking about? It's the worst thing ever.
Cuts the rod, smoking, saying all that.
It's like, what the hell? No, so like Goofy, not a huge payoff. Definitely stands out, but not in like a,
Almost, but you could just cut the first like 12 seconds.
That's the moment.
And I'd be like, yep, stands out.
It blows its wad,
Yeah. It's probably a minute. It's probably not actually like,
The intro, no, and like that's charming too, and I'm glad we came back there because the young kid says something like I don't like being in this portable oven that we're lugging around anyway and stuff like that. And I was like, that's a cool. You got a little banter stuff and how the wind picks up and they get scared and like the tough one's like, let's go back. And I'm like, okay, like there's some nice little
I don't know,
little things.
I keep coming back to I don't know why they ever left the tank to begin with. It just
why would you ever do any of this?
But
right?
they're tank people, so like even what they're wearing, they have a leather helmet. They don't have like a regular helmet.
Right,
they're made for being inside of this safety box.
Well, they get like wrapped up in this time quest.
Oh, they can go to hell.
That's what I mean. Like, there's no excuse for this type of thing. No. Well, the excuse is we don't have a budget for like 700 extras or a tank to go fight. Which why would you, right? Of course.
But like at this time, there were probably enough movies being filmed that they could have just like stolen a day or some pickup shots or something from them.
I don't know. it's a weird
It was weird
thing.
to not even have, like, 'cause, you know, they've used stock footage before.
Yeah.
You think they could cut to something like, you know, a bunch of Indians charging.
Right.
And, like, their proof of, like, a lone horse. Are there no horses possible that could just be running around?
No.
Like,
there was so much fudge in this when he's like, I shot into that dust cloud, and I'm like, this was cobbled together in like editing to make it work. Like this is not working at all.
I think he mentioned shooting the rider off. I had no choice. What do you mean? No one saw that or even assumes that happened.
Or anything. So I thought we were gonna walk up and like have a corpse extra guy in like feathers and be like, see, what the hell, and then leave and then come back and he's gone or something like that. But like no,
but the arrowhead is still there.
We don't even have that. Yeah, or something stupid. No, I don't. No, thank you. No, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
This is one of those scripts that they should have been like, I'm not sure we can do this, and put it in like the other pile and like not tried to do it like back in the 58
yeah,
or
we'll
whatever
add this to the movie.
Yeah, put this off until Jordan Peele takes over. We can tackle it then. All right, we're good.
That's pretty much everything that happened in this episode, guys. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.